Hello, hi students. Today in this video we are going to see new chapter 2 polynomials. Before entering deep into the topic or deep into the chapter, let us understand what is the meaning of polynomial, the word polynomial. We know that we have learned about it, what is meant by polynomial in previous class of 9th and 8th standard. Anyway, let us have a brief introduction about it. So poly means many. When we combine more than one term or more than one term, it is called as a polynomial. So what is meant by term here? So when we multiply or divide a numeric constant with a variable, we get a term. When we add or subtract the terms, we get a algebraic expression. That expression we name it as a polynomial. Poly means many, as I told you. So here in this is a example of a polynomial. Here we have three terms. Each term is multiplied with a numeric constant and a variable. So more than one term, if it is one or more terms, we call it as a polynomial. Okay. Next, let us understand what is meant by degree of the polynomial. Okay. So we are going to learn here a polynomial with one variable. Using it, we can say what is the degree of that polynomial. Look at these polynomials, and here the first one is a polynomial in variable a, and polynomial in variable x. This is polynomial in variable y, which consists of a variable. If you see the exponent, which is the maximum exponent value, that is called as the degree of that particular polynomial. So what is the degree of this particular polynomial? Is 5. 5 is the highest exponent value. And here if you see that, here x raised to the power 3, x cube is the highest one. So degree of the polynomial here is 3. For this polynomial, so if you see that the 5 is the highest exponent, so it is the degree of the polynomial. So what is meant by degree of the polynomial? The highest exponent value of the variable. Based on the degree, we can classify three type of polynomials which we are learning in 10th standard. So if you see that this type of polynomial, the highest power of this variables is 1. X raised to power 1, y raised to power 1, z raised to power 1. If it is a highest degree is 1, then it is called as linear polynomial. If you see the second one, the highest power here is 2. So the degree of the polynomial is 2. So if it is a degree of the polynomial is 2, it is called as quadratic polynomial. So we call it as x square, right? X square minus 1. So square. The quadratic came from a word quadrate. It means square. So that is the relation of this one, x square and the quadratic polynomial. Third one, if its highest degree is degree is 3, if you see that the highest power of the variable is 3, means the degree is 3, so we call it as a cubic polynomial. So we, based on this what's degree of the polynomial, we classify into 3, which we are learning in 10th standard. So next we are going to learn in this chapter about value of polynomial, what is meant by value of polynomial, and 0 of the polynomial, and the difference between this value of the polynomial and 0 of the polynomial. To understand this concept, let us take one polynomial, that is a polynomial in x, that is p of x, meaning, so we are having a polynomial in x, that is x square minus 3x minus 4. Okay, and I have substituted some numbers here. We can take any number, that is no problem. So I have selected some 2 negative number, 1 0, and 4 positive number I have selected. So when I substitute, what I have done is I have substituted instead of x, I have substituted minus 2. So if you substitute a minus 2 instead of x, what we are getting a number called 6. So this 6 is called the value of this polynomial at when we substitute x equal to 2. How do we say? 6 is the value of this polynomial at minus x is equal to minus 2, because we are getting many values here. If you substitute many numbers, if you substitute different numbers, we are getting different answers, different values. If you substitute minus 1, we get 0. If you substitute 0, we get minus 4. If you substitute 1, we get minus 6. If you substitute number 2, we get minus 6. And if you substitute here 3, we get minus 4. And if you substitute 4, we get 0. Okay, so these are values 6, 0, 4, minus 6, 4 and 0 are values of this polynomial. For example, minus 6 is the value at x equal to 1 and x equal to 2. But if you see that now this one 0 and this is 0, so the 0 got for when we substitute minus 1 and when we substitute 4. For these two numbers we got 0. Okay, so which one which are the values are 0? So if you see which are the values are, these two are 0. Why we got 0? Because we substituted minus 1 and 4. So these two numbers are called zeros of the polynomial. So zeros of the given polynomial, zeros of given polynomial are, if you see minus 1 and 4, minus 1 and 4. Zeros of the polynomial എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഏതെങ്കിലും നമ്പർ എടുത്ത് സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന വാല്യൂ 0 ആവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഏത് വാല്യൂസൊക്കെ 0 ആയേ അതിനെ നമ്മൾ ഏത് നമ്പറാണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തത്, ഇവിടെ -1 ആണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തത്, ഇവിടെ 4 യൂസ് ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോൾ ഈ രണ്ട് നമ്പേഴ്സാണ് നമ്മൾ സീറോ ഓഫ് ദ പോളിനോമിയൽ എന്ന് വിളിക്കുക. So let us see the next topic from the chapter Polynomials. The relationship between zeros, just we saw what is named as zeros and the coefficient of the polynomial. What is the coefficient? For example, if you are having a polynomial like plus 5x, for instance, the number before the variable is called as coefficient. So what is the coefficient of x square? 3. What is the coefficient of x is 5. This number is alone, there is no variable here, so this is called as constant. Okay, so we are going to learn what is the relationship between zeros of the polynomial and the coefficient of the polynomial. Okay, when you are taking as here we are going to learn about the zeros of a linear polynomial. The linear polynomial is in the general format as ax plus b. For example, 5x plus 7, like that. It's a linear polynomial example, we can say. So it's a relationship between the zeros and the coefficient is, we can say that it is like so the zeros of the quadratic polynomial is equal to minus b by a. What is a b here? B is a constant term, so minus of constant term divided by coefficient of x. What is the coefficient? A is the coefficient of x. We can say how we are getting this answer. First let ax plus b equal to 0. So next ax is equal to 0 minus b, we can take it as. So ax is equal to minus b, x is equal to minus b by a. So x is the zero of the polynomial, zeros. So when we substitute a value, x value is value of x is here, it's called as zero of the polynomial. So x is equal to minus b by a. So next let us see about the relationship between zeros of a polynomial and the coefficient of a quadratic polynomial. Just before we saw that about for a linear polynomial. Now we see for a quadratic polynomial. Let us take two zeros of the quadratic polynomial as alpha and beta of a polynomial p of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c. It is a general format of a quadratic polynomial, that is ax square plus bx plus c is the general format of a quadratic polynomial, where a should not equal to 0. If you are then we can get two factors. If alpha and beta are the zeros of this polynomial, we get two factors. Like factors we can write like this. If x is the variable, the polynomial in x, so we can write x is a positive alpha, so we write x minus alpha. A positive beta, so we write x minus beta. We can take it, these two are the factors of the polynomial p of x. Just understand this way. So let us just write this polynomial p of x, what is given, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to, we can write in this way, so which is equal to, we get the two factors, so x minus alpha into x minus beta. What is the meaning of this is, if you multiply these two, we get it is equal to this, because these two are factors. If you are taking this as number, ഇതൊരു number ആയിട്ട് എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇതിൻ്റെ factors ആണ് alpha minus beta, x minus alpha and x minus beta എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. For example, 12 എന്നത് we can equate to this as 12 and this as 3 and 4. If 3 and 4 are factors, if you multiply 3 and 4, we get 12. The same way, if these two are factors, if you multiply these two, we get this polynomial. Did you understand? So there will be a constant value when you multiply here. Some constant value will be there. That constant value we can take it as k, where k is a constant. Let us multiply these two. Constant value k, we can keep it outside. When you multiply x into x, that is x square. When you multiply x into b, we get minus beta x. Sorry. Then we can multiply these two. Minus of alpha x. Then we can multiply these two. Negative into negative, positive, alpha into beta, alpha beta. If you take minus outside, we can write as k into x square, minus we can take it outside, so common, and we can arrange in order, that is alpha plus beta into x. How it is plus here, we are taking this negative sign outside, so beta becomes positive, alpha also becomes positive, plus alpha beta. So this polynomial we can equate to this, we get some more results. So remember that these two values are equal. So when we given alpha and beta, two values in a problem, we can find or we can form a polynomial using this expression or using this formula. Okay, so let us see that later. Just we can find out the relation now. Now let us equate these two values. Okay, so we can equate here. Let us multiply first k inside. So k into x square minus of k into alpha plus beta into x plus k into alpha beta. Now let us compare these two values and then try to find out the relation between the coefficient and the zeros. Okay. Now let us equate this coefficient. The coefficient of x square is a, and here coefficient of x square is k. So the first we can equate that first k is equal to a, or we can write a is equal to k. So we can write k is equal to a. K is equal to a, and another one, this, if you compare these two and we can equate it. So what is the coefficient here? Minus positive b, that we can write positive b is equal to here. What is the coefficient of x square? That is equal to negative k in alpha plus beta. Negative k alpha plus beta. So we can substitute k value, k as a here. So we can write as b is equal to minus a into alpha plus beta. So if you bring this a here, so it becomes negative b by a is equal to alpha plus beta. So what is alpha and beta? They are the zeros. Alpha plus beta means sum of zeros. So sum of zeros is equal to minus b by a. So that is the one relation we got. What is b? B is the coefficient of x. What is a? Coefficient of x square. So we can say the relation as the sum of zeros of a polynomial is equal to minus of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Let us take the third one. Now we can equate c and these values. C is equal to we can say that k into alpha beta. Here we can substitute k value as a. So c is equal to a alpha beta. A into alpha beta. When you bring this side, c by a is equal to alpha into beta. So what is alpha into beta means? Is a product of zeros. So product of zeros is equal to c by a. What is c here? What is the value of c? C is a constant term and a is the coefficient of x square. So product of zeros is equal to constant term divided by coefficient of x square. That is the another relation. So we have two relations here. What is the first one? Product of sum of zeros is equal to minus of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Here product of zeros is equal to constant term divided by coefficient of x square. So using this relation, we can bring one form of a polynomial, quadratic polynomial. If alpha and beta are the zeros of quadratic polynomial, the quadratic polynomial can be written as k into k is a constant term into x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. In this way we can write it. Using this relation, if we will be given some problems. We will be given alpha and beta. Instead of alpha and beta, we will be given zeros with the numbers, and we can find out. For example, if 3 and 4 are zeros of a quadratic polynomial, let us find out its. We can form a polynomial using this. These two values. If alpha is 3 and beta is 4, so we can substitute here. So p of polynomial x is equal to k into x square minus of alpha is 3 and beta is 4 into x plus alpha beta means 3 into 4. So we can write as k into x square minus of, when we add this, 7x plus 12. So this is a quadratic polynomial. X square minus 7x plus 12 is the quadratic polynomial whose zeros are 3 and 4. So when we given zeros, we can form a quadratic polynomial using this formula. Hope you understood this one. So dear students, we are recalling the factorization method of finding the zeros of a polynomial. Okay. So here I have taken one polynomial, that is x square plus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0, and we have to find the zeros of it, which means a factorization method. So here the product of zeros, here it is given, that is alpha plus beta, that is product of zeros is 7, and the sum of zeros 7, and product of zeros is 12. So we have to find out first, let us find out the factors of 12. And there are many factors are there. So like 1 into 12 and 2 into 6 and 3 into 4. 3 into 4 also 12. But when we add these factors, we have already discussed these things in lower classes and previous classes. Anyway, let us have a revision. So the product of zeros, when we have 4 and 3 is which is equal to 12. When we add 4 and 3, we get this 7. 4 plus 3 also 7. So the zeros here actually the 4 and 3. So this is one method of finding it. So we can write this as directly in a way that so here we can take its product is 12 and the sum is 7. Here it is a product, this is sum. Okay, and if you see that if this is positive, here it is positive, there is two options here. Both numbers can be positive, or there is another option, both numbers can be negative, that we see later. So here we can see this 4 and this number is 3. So both are positive. So we can have x here. So that directly we can take this one as a factors. We can write this here as x plus 4 into x plus 3 equal to 0. So the values, we can equate this. Either x plus 4 is 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. So we can write x plus 4 is equal to 0. We can write like that. Another one, we can write x plus 3 is equal to 0. The second one we can write. So from this one we can take x equal to minus 4. Then we can write this as x is equal to minus 3. X equal to minus 3. In the way we can write it.